easier and quicker with friends, and sometimes more fun depending on which missions you do. But if you don't, and you don't have people around, and you've got a full bunker and you don't want to wait for people, go try find people, then you really don't need to, right? The only caveat is if you have a bunker that is above the LMOC. So any one of these bunkers is the Zancudo bunker, which is around here. There's even one over there, I think. The Chamash, which is a very popular one, which I think is down in this area. So as long as it's below the LMOC, which is this guy here, then you can sell a full bunker solar. If it's obviously in Paleto Bay, don't even bother. You're probably not going to make it. I've heard people have made it in the past, but you probably have a few seconds to spare. Even some of these guys, when I sell, I only have a few seconds to spare in some cases, depending where I have to drop it off, right? But yeah, any one of these guys. I'm here at the farmhouse. I like this one just because if you do get the Phantom Wedge, it's generally you delivering down here by the docks in most cases, or this kind of area, yeah. So you don't have to come all the way from that side. But really, if it's Chamash or the farmhouse, those are the two best bunkers, I think, in my opinion. Either one. Chamash is a lot cheaper and more affordable, and it's just fine as well, right? So there you go. So if it's below there, that's the only caveat. Otherwise, you can sell a bunker solo. I do have a blog where I've written up a bunch of the stuff and some things to consider when selling. So I'll try and remember to post that in the description. So the other thing is there's about six sell missions that you will get. Four of those missions you do not want to try sell solo. So you want to actually sell those with friends, right? Two of them, which is the Phantom Wedge mission, you can sell solo, and then there's two insurgent missions. One which is you got to do 15 deliveries. You don't want that one, and then the other one is a single drop off. So the two missions you want to do is the single drop off insurgent mission, and then the Phantom mission, which is pretty rare to get that mission right. But at least for me nowadays, I used to get it all the time, but now it's very rare that I actually get that. So most of the time I'm doing 3 insurgents. So anyway, so let's get on with this. So if I do not get the single drop off missions, either the Phantom Wedge or the insurgent, I'm gonna go back to story mode, and then I'm gonna just come back. And then the other thing, I guess the second caveat is you need to know how to get a solo session for your platform. So whether that's PS4, you're doing the MTU trick, or on PC, there's a couple of tricks there. And then, of course, on Xbox One, we do the NAT trick typically, right, to get a public session, right? Those are kind of the main ways, right? So. Okay, so without further ado, let's see if we get lucky, we might get one of those first missions straight away. Also, there's the other thing is you always want to sell in Los Santos. Don't waste your time and lose money selling in Blaine. It's not worth it. Always sell in Los Santos. Don't worry about not making it. Very rare. It's very rare that you won't make it if you're not paying attention, or if you're selling in a full lobby, then chances are you're not going to make it if somebody attacks you, because you only have like 3 minutes to kind of clear it. But if you're in a solo session by yourself, then you are fine to actually sell in Los Santos without any issues. There's just no sense in not doing it, right? Okay, so let's roll the dice and let's see what we get here. And what do you know? I have two Phantoms. So like I said, I rarely get the Phantom mission, but this is great. So there's a couple of things you want to notice. In the right hand corner, you'll see 2 dots there. If you get the Insurgents, if you get the Phantom mission, you get 2 dots and 2 Phantoms, right? So super easy, and 2 Phantoms. Easy to do the Phantom one. This is the best mission you can get. And let's see where we will deliver in this case. And yeah, so it's kind of in this area, one of the areas that you will drop off. So I think that the Phantoms are this area, that area, and there's an area. The only thing you want to be careful of with the Phantoms is not going too close. Slow down on the bridges and near water. If you do put the trailer into the water, you will lose it. You'll lose half your supply. Now you can also quit as long as you don't. It's not the second trailer and the mission ends. As long as you quit before the mission ends, you're fine. You won't lose all your product. However, if it is the second trailer, you put the truck in the water. You still have a few seconds to quit, but you have to kind of be on your game to actually make sure as you hit in the water that you're really quitting, right, type thing, right? So, but I've only put the truck in the water once, and I was doing something stupid. This was near the airport, and I was going too fast around the corner. So it does happen, but it's very rare that it happens if you're paying attention. And most of the routes that you go to aren't near the water, so there's a couple of bridges and stuff, but most of the times you actually aren't actually near the water. Now the other thing you want to be a little bit careful of, the truck will take damage if you hit a full concrete barrier, just like I just did there. You can pretty much hit a lot of cars as long as you're not coming as far as from Paleto in terms of the amount of cars from Paleto is considerably more, so your truck takes a lot more damage if you're coming down from Paleto. But if you're coming from Chumash or Farmhouse, you pretty much can hit most cars. Like, I mean, obviously you avoid hitting all the cars. I mean, I don't intentionally go hit cars, but I don't unintentionally not hit cars either, right? So I mean, if I see a car in front of me, I don't hit it. I hit it, right? Because it's just in the way, right? I mean, I don't need to worry about the truck breaking down too quickly. Even if I'm going down to the docks type thing, right? I mean, you're pretty safe to hit most cars. I mean, I've heard people having Phantoms catch on fire and things like that. So if that does happen, all you do is you disconnect your trailer, you call your MOC, and you take the MOC cab and you use that to finish your delivery as long as you have enough time, right? So your MOC is always your backup if you have an MOC. If you don't have an MOC and you actually have the Phantom special vehicle, you can call that as well. It generally delivers it close by, I believe. So either the MOC or that, and you just hook that on the trailer and you should be able to deliver it if your time's right. Also, I recommend you become a CEO and not an MC, for the reason that you have access to your budget. Hopefully you have a budget. Now, this is not essential, I think. I mean, you might be able to drive just as quick back in a vehicle. So if you really don't have a budget and can't afford one, you can probably drive relatively quickly back. It might be less time, so depending on where your drop off is. If it's right down by the dock, you probably won't make it in a car. If it's obviously, it's worthwhile having a helicopter of some sort, right? So whether that be in a Buzzard, or if you have the Havoc, you can call it on your CO menu, or if you have one of the Volatile, those Voltus helicopters, it doesn't have to be a Buzzard, so it just needs to be a helicopter that's on your CO menu that will spawn next to you, right? So any one of those will do. So there you go, we can sell a full bunker ourselves. I don't need any friends or any help or anything like that. No problem with 3 Insurgents or 2 Phantoms. Even one of the Marshall missions, if you look at the Marshals, if you jump in the Marshal, sometimes the spawn location will be very close by, so you'll have Marshals as well. So it is possible to do some of the Marshal missions, not all of them. As well, so it is possible to do some of the Marshal missions, not all of them. trailer. At least Rockstar could have been a bunch of douchebags and destroyed the trailer when it came off or something. Right? Thank goodness they weren't like that, right? And also found sometimes it's actually easier just to do the insurgent mission solo. If you do it with a friend, sometimes what happens is you have to deliver the insurgents all to the same location, and sometimes that's right down by the docks. Where I find if you're doing a solo delivery yourself with one person, then generally it gives you 3 locations to deliver the insurgents, and they're generally not down by the docks, at least not all of them. You might get one down by docks. Generally it's not that one, but so it's generally a lot quicker to do it solo than it is with another friend, believe it or not. So got that global signal tracker thing that comes on, and it wants you to deliver them all to the same location, and you drive together, right, as a team. Well, there you go. If you found that helpful, please hit the like button and comment in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate all subscribers, and it helps the channel. So thanks again. Very easy, very quick. No problem making the full amount of money sometimes. So like 50% of the time you're going to get either the Insurgent or the Wedge. Another 50% of the time you're going to get the other mission. So I think it balances out. Sometimes you'll be able to get the full amount of money, and other times you'll probably lose like 20-30 grand. So every time you switch sessions or go offline, you're probably going to lose like 20-30k, if that. It's really not a lot in terms of time. I think, you know, if you get one of the regular missions, you waste like at least half an hour trying to get through the mission, even with friends sometimes. It's just a chronic waste of time, right? So, or gross waste of time. Whereas if you get one of these 2 missions, it takes you 15 minutes, even though you've lost money. I think in terms of making money again, starting a new run of, or making more supplies in the bunker, you make that money back much quicker than if you actually did the mission, right? Like now I'm up so delivered, and if I go back and I look and say in 20 minutes, I've probably already made like 20 grand, right? So that money you would have lost switching sessions, you would have wasted time-wise delivering it and dealing with, you know, NPCs and that 15 drop-offs, and then you gotta shoot a bunch of NPCs at every drop-off, you know, and then you know you gotta once you've it's like 5 times, or you gotta once you've it's like 5 times or 3 times or whatever it is, you know, you jump in your car and go do it again. Like you have to do it 3-4 times, right? And especially the last one, which is sometimes at this location, yeah, just right over there. Kind of funny to watch, hilarious to watch, because you know they just almost know that you have the aircraft trailer. Almost know that you have the aircraft trailer, and they hit it first, right? So yeah, you tend to waste more time with other missions versus this one, even though if you switch sessions and lost a bit of money. So there you go. Thanks for watching.